Hi, welcome to Simply Narelle Stitches. I am Narelle and this is my latest Flosstube, and I've got a really short window to get this filmed in, so I don't even know what Flosstube number this is, but I do know that today is Tuesday the 11th of August 2026, so there you go. I haven't done a Flosstube for a month or more, I guess. I was planning to come back just after my birthday, but that didn't happen. My birthday was last week, so this is as close to my birthday as I can get. I'm going to run through all the whips that I have worked on since you saw me last. There's quite a few. I haven't counted them, but I know there's a few. So anyway, let's get on with it. So the first one I have to show you is the I'll Be Home Cottages. All on one piece. This is from Twin Peak Primitives. I started this as a sell with Pam from Just Keep Cross Stitching. I believe it was 2020 or somewhere around there. We started this sell. I was a little bit late jumping onto it, but yeah, I started quite a few years ago now, and it is still going. Obviously, I am up to the August house, so my plan was to stitch this for my equivalent of my equivalent of Gridiron Grind that Kim Hollenbach started in Full Coverage Fanatics, and I'm using it for what I call Rugby League Rumble, which is the sport that I follow here in Australia. And I follow my local rugby league team called the Redcliffe Dolphins, and the idea was to stitch 10 stitches for every goal or every point they got during the season. I fell really behind, then I caught up, then I was ahead, and now I'm behind again. So anyway, I stitched on this probably a few weeks ago. I haven't stitched on it for a few weeks. I had a buy last week, I think one last week, and I don't know what stitch count. I didn't write anything down. I just stitched. So this is August. I will take it out because I don't know if I showed you. Oh my goodness, that doesn't want to come off. Hang on a minute. If I showed you July, but that's July all finished. And then I started August. So I did the border, completed the border, and started in on the house and the tree there. So that is August. And I had a crazy idea that I thought, well, you know, when rugby league season finishes, which is September, I believe, mid-September or something, then I could try and complete a cottage each month, like within that month. And then I'd get it finished by the end of this year, and then finally it's off my whip list. I don't know if that's achievable because we're coming up to mid-August and I haven't worked on this. Like, I worked on this twice, I believe, in August so far. So I don't know. I could make it something like a daily 30 where I just put in, you know, half an hour's worth of work into it every day and then see if I can get the cottage finished in August. Don't know. And if that works, then maybe that'll work till the end of the year. But I get bored with my plans really quickly, so I'm hesitant to do that, because then if I get bored with it, it's like, oh, I feel like I've failed. So I don't like setting too many goals anymore, or plans really. Okay, next one, the Quilted Farm Girl. This is another sell by Fat Quarter Shop. This is designed by Laurie Holt, Bee in My Bonnet Company, and this is really cute. I love this. And sorry, we started this some time ago. I don't have any of my details. I am so not ready for this video, but I needed to get it done. I couldn't wait any longer. So unfortunately, I don't have any of the details, any of the hashtags, anything like that. I know this is a 12-month sell. Let me see if I can find any information. No, I won't have it there. I will try and pop it in the box below, any details that I have. So I'm using the fabric they sent me for this, as well as all the classic Colourworks threads that they sent me. Look at that colour palette. Very, very pretty. Yeah, this is not going to be a pretty video, but anyway. And I worked on this, I think, a couple of times. And that is where I am at. Now, the fabric I used is from the Digi Stitchy. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's from the Digi Stitchery. And it's 32 count linen called Sugar Cookie. So I really love this fabric, and I'm going to try and get some more because it's really nice and easy to stitch on. Not all linens are the same. So I really like this one though. So would like to get some more. But that is what I've got done. I'll just move my needle minder out of the way. Now I'm hoping you can see everything. I will try and zoom in when I edit this video. This is not my ideal video doing the face down where you don't see me, but it's all I could manage for today. So I suppose it's better to get a video out there so you can see what I've worked on and know that I haven't fallen off the face of the earth than to not get anything out. So that is what I've done. Now, one of these, I believe it is this one, is off because you'll notice on this design here, these come to a point, those two sections. Well, these are meant to as well, but I was a stitch off, so I had to end them on the two. Now, I think that means that this whole thing is also up too far, possibly. I can't remember. But I know when I came to do this one, so that it wasn't in the wrong place, I had to count across and then down from this one because I knew that one was right and that one was out. So I didn't want to use that as a marker because then everything else would be out. I mean, it probably doesn't matter in the scheme of things. As long as everything fits in, then we should be right. But that is, if I put the pattern straight, so that is that one there, and that's the start of this big flower here. So, I don't know, what have I done? Maybe not quite a quarter of it. So, yeah, it goes to sometime next year, this sale. I don't believe it finishes at the end of the calendar year. I believe it only started in May or something. It wasn't even like a January start. It was a later start than that. So, anyway, that's what I've done on that one. Let's not forget the threads. Okay, next, I don't know, I've worked on this one a while ago and I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's a finish. Is it a finish? It's in this, no, it's not a finish. Okay. That's how long ago I worked on it, I can't even remember. So this is an ornament. Now this is meant to be like a fabric boxing, but I'm just using it as an ornament to go on my tree. And I think I worked on this one night, and that is what I've got to so far. There's not a great deal to go. There's just green leaves to go. And then there's gold beads in the middle. So, that's the pattern. Let's not show that. Let's put that on there. And that is where that is. So, one more night, should have that finished. I actually forgot that I had worked on this whip. So that's how long it's been since I worked on this. I believe this was probably for Jolly July because I haven't filmed in August, and I think it's like it was towards the start of July or something when I did my last video. So this definitely then was for Jolly July. Maybe? Yes, probably. Anyway, so that's that one. No numbers. I didn't write anything down this time around. Totally slack. Okay, next. Now this is one that I think I worked on for, I'm working on Arbitrary August. So if you're new here, thank you by the way for joining this discombobulated video. July I was doing Jolly July. So I was working on all Christmas for July. I got sidetracked a little bit on Christmas and did other stuff. But the whole idea was work on Christmas every day for July. Then we moved into Arbitrary August, and my Arbitrary August theme is flowers, so I work on anything that's got flowers on it. Now I do have a wheel, and I entered all my projects on the wheel that have flowers in it, and I've spun the wheel each day to come up with the project that I should be working on. Now I say should because for the last maybe 3 days I've got terribly sidetracked and worked on other things. But most of August will be flowers. So this one is actually a finish. Flowers of the month. Now I know this was Arbitrary August, and I have finished it. Let's just move the project bag out of the way. So this chart was in, I believe it was just Cross Stitch magazine, and I don't know the year. And every month they had 2 months, and then the next month they'd have another 2, blah blah blah. And so I started this for Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge Facebook group, where it was something, I think the theme was for New Year's. So I thought, well, I had nothing New Year related, and I thought, you know, it'd be really good if I could do like a sampler, like a calendar sampler. So I found these and went, well, these will be perfect because that's like a calendar. So every new year you have a new calendar. So this is representing a year. And that's how I made it work. Now, when I started this, I didn't have the whole complete set of DMC threads. So for the first and second ones, I chose my colour palette using what I had. It's a little bit different to what was charted for, but I made it work with the threads that I had. And then I got all the threads. There's a shop here in Australia where she sells the whole set of DMC threads. So I saved up, bought the whole lot, and then I had, you know, one of every DMC thread, which is my master set. And I then could use whatever colours they called for in the chart to complete the rest of the months, and that's what I've done. I'm doing this on Ada, so this is, I believe, a 14 count Ada. Now the months were done 1/1. I wasn't going to pierce the threads to do 1/1 on Ada, so I changed them to a half cross stitch, and I sort of went okay for a few months copying basically what they had. And then I think down here I got a little bit wacky, and they didn't quite turn out the same. They look different. So, but I don't care, you know. It's unique, it's mine, and it's a finish. Now I don't know what number finish this is. So also, if you're new here, you don't know that was doing 60 by 60. 60 finishes by the time I turned 60. I turned 60 on August 4. So I did not meet my 60 by 60, but I'm very close. I've got a few more finishes, I think, to share with you, and I believe I'm up to 55 out of 60. So I'm going to extend, you know, the 60 by 60 through to the end of my 60th year, which means I've got a whole year until next August to do the last 5 pieces. I'm going to try and get them done as soon as I can. So we'll see, fingers crossed. If I can do it sooner rather than later, I do want to probably try and get it done before the end of my 60th year, like, you know, by the end of this calendar year, hopefully. Which is why when I was saying about the 30, daily 30 or whatever it is, for that Twin Peak Primitives chart, I wasn't sure if I'm going to do that, because I thought my ones I'm trying to get finished by my 60th year, they'd be a good candidate for my daily 30. So I don't know if I'm going to keep that, you know, the idea of that Twin Peaks primitive one as my daily 30, or move to ones I can get finished quite soon. So I don't know. Let me know what you think I should do. I'm erring on the side of the finishes, but then I also want to get that other one done because it's been hanging around way too long. But anyway, that's flowers of the month done and dusted. Okay, so next we have another finish, and this is a really cute ornament by Dimensions. So this is the Christmas Sayings Ornaments kit by Dimensions, and there's 6 ornaments in the kit. I'm counting this as one whip, but each of the ornaments is going to be an individual finish. So I finished this one, which is that one right there. And there's a whole lot of stitching in these, more than you think. But yes, so that one is a finish. Yay. And that was definitely for Jolly July. So there you go. There's another finish. Alright. Next is another finish. I know. I was very surprised. Which, one of the reasons I didn't come back sooner is because I knew I had a few that I could get finished, and I wanted to wait until they were done. And then just like time just kept going, and I went, oh, okay. Alright, here we go. Poppies. This again was a magazine stitch. Believe I don't have the magazine anymore in here. I did have it. Wait. Okay, I've got this. This is from crossstitching.com, so the world of cross stitching, and I don't know what magazine. Doesn't say, and I don't have the magazine anymore, but this is from the World of Cross Stitching magazine, and I finished it. So I know I worked on this for quite a few nights, and I just wanted to get it done because it again has been languishing for a long time, and I knew that if I just dedicated 3 or 4 nights to it, I'd get it done. So basically I had like down to here done, and I think I'd maybe done half. So I had to do all this poppy, all this leaves bit, and the blue background there. Now these leaves don't look like they should, but the chart was really hard to read because it was a photocopy of a glossy magazine page, and I just found it really hard to work out some of the colors. So anyway, yeah, and because what was the issue I had? Was it symbols or... Okay, it was a color copy. So that's the chart, see? It was a color copy, and some of them, because it's a lighter symbol on a color block, when it's photocopied, made it really hard to tell what the symbol was. And I didn't have the actual color magazine anymore. I don't know what I've done with it. It's not in here, so who knows where that's gone. Yeah, so some of the colors may be a bit wrong. Some of the back stitching is a little bit wrong, and I was also getting tired of it towards the end, I'll be honest. So I thought, yeah, well, that's good enough. And yeah, but I think it looks okay. I might make this into a cushion, or I might put it as a panel in a cross stitch bag, like a project bag. I don't know. But anyway, that's another finish. I really like that. They just pop. Those poppies are amazing. So this I had done as a Anzac Day memorial piece, and I do have another chart that a friend sent me of I think there's like gum boots with poppies in them. So I plan to start that next April for Anzac Day. Oh, look at this, another finish. Oh, look at that. Wow. So this is Cardinal Joy Banner by Dimensions, and that is, it was a kit, so this is for Jolly July, and that is what it should look like, and that is what it looks like, except you may notice that I have really big beads on this. If I hold it up, turn it sideways, can you see how big those beads are? Yeah. This has, what are they called? Those things, French knots. That's what they're called. yeah, I did the French knot for the eye and it's absolutely horrible and I hate doing French knots. So I thought, well, okay, I'm going to do beads. I thought I had smaller red beads, but I didn't. So I found these ones. They are very big, but you know what? They're on there. It's done. And anyone who sees it is not going to, you know, have the kit picture next to it to go, well, that's not right. Those beads are very big and whatever. So I'm going to make it work. So it's only ever come out, going to come out once a year and hang up for a few weeks and then be put away again. So, and the kit comes with the little hooky thing you're meant to put it on and the bells put on the bottom. So if that ever gets completely finished, I'll be amazed. But anyway, the stitching is all done. So that was another one that I finished. Yay! And that was Jolly July. Did I say that? I don't know, I probably did. Anyway, so I'm not counting the finishes. I don't know, there's a few. What is this? Okay. So this is where I fell off the wagon. Oh no, this might have been for Arbitrary August, actually. I think this was for Arbitrary August. I was going to say I fell off the Jolly July wagon, but I think because this has got flowers in it, this might have been an early call for Arbitrary August. So this is William Morris Strawberry Thief by Annette Schwartzmiller. And I started this along with the Grateful Stitcher years ago for the Deb's wallpaper sale. And this is where I am. So there we go. Alright, so this one is charted without the background and you just fill in the background later. So I'm pretty sure I did this over here. Some of that was done. I did all this blue here and this flower here. This bird and a little bit of this was already done, the start of that bird. And this was done up here and this was done. I did, on one night, I did all this blue, pretty sure I did all the blue down there and that flower and finished this flower. Like, well, that's the end of the page. And then the next night I went in and I started filling the background because I didn't want to get to the stage where I had finished a lot of it and I hadn't done any of the background, because even though that's mindless stitching, it can also be very boring. So I am going to like do chunks of the stitching. So now I'm pretty sure I've got like all this is completed in the pattern. So now I know I can go in and next time and start filling in this section. And then I'll do more of the pattern and then do a bit more of the background and keep going forward like that. So I don't know how many pages this is. Let me check. So that's that bird there. I don't know how far this page goes down. I believe that might be towards the end or a little bit lower than the first page, which means there's probably 1, 2, 3, 6, there's probably about 12 pages on this, is there? Oh my goodness, there's more than I thought. Some of them are like bits of pages, so I don't know if there's a page map. You have a look. No page map, so I can't tell you exactly how many pages there is. There's probably about 12, but some of them are only like the thin strip down the side. Gosh, wish I could talk. But yes, so that is my William Morris Strawberry Thief. So I worked on that, I believe it was 2 nights. Okay, next we have, don't know what's in here. What's in here? Right, this one, Arbitrary August, for my month of flowers, is Blooming Bouquets number 6 Hopeful by Jeanette Douglas Designs. And I forgot to tell you what I'm doing. That Strawberry Thief, I think, is on 18 count Ada, I believe. That's what I did. I did basically across there. I had already done down here. So I did those flowers in a night. I don't think it was a full night. I think I was distracted by something. And I'm doing this on a piece of 32 count Belfast linen by Fancy Fabric. Fancy Fabric by Melissa Jansen, who used to dye fabric. And this one colour is called Fallen Leaves. So I really love this fabric. And I wish she'd dye again because I really like her fabrics, but she's not dyeing anymore. Dyeing fabric anymore, I should say. So yeah, that's what I've done so far. And that, I believe, is the halfway point. Gosh, I'm putting in extra letters in my words today. That's the halfway point. And I believe that is not quite the halfway point. So I'm hoping that this fabric is big enough to get another one on the bottom or something else on the bottom. I don't know if I've got another one of these. Like, she's got a whole series of these. And I was after all of them. But unfortunately, I don't have any budget to spend on anything. So I'll have to just stitch what I have in my stash. And if I don't have any more in my stash, I'm sure I can find something else to use on that fabric. Stitch on that fabric. Okay. Next, again, Arbitrary August. We have Mason Jar Lineup by Dimensions. This is a kit. I'm using everything that came in the kit, including the horrible Ada. But anyway. And that's what I've done so far. So that is probably the middle. Not quite the middle. Oops. So there we go. I started in the middle and then I worked a little bit to the right, and now I'm going to the left and then I'm going to come back and finish the right. So I worked on this jar here. I finished these leaves here, filled in the jar, not quite finished, there's a little bit more of the jar to do here, and then I'm working up to fill in the flowers, which are these ones, which I think are meant to be like orchids. So yeah, this is really pretty, and I think I'm really going to love the end result. It's just I hate working on it because the Ada is really stiff and the holes are surprisingly little for 14 count Ada, and my needle's having trouble going through the holes, so it hurts the fingers after a while. So I can't spend lots and lots of hours working on it. I can only give it 2 or 3 hours max, and then I've got to go do something else because it does hurt. But I think in the end it's going to look really pretty. Except I've realised, I don't know why. Oh, it does look darker, doesn't it? I can say these half stitches here look a lot darker than these ones. But I guess they do look darker on there. Just hope I've got the right colours. I think so. Anyway, who's going to know if I don't? It's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Alright, another one for Arbitrary August. Full coverage is Complimentary Callers by the Cross Stitch Studio. And this one, I was stitching on it diagonally, but then I decided that I needed to start participating in a few challenges. And sorry about my excess. All right, so this material here is just sewn on to the edge of my fabric because my fabric is a little bit small. Because when I put it in the Q-snap, I can't get to the top because, you know, you've got the width of the Q-snap. So I had to add fabric around to the edge so that I can get to where I need to be stitching. So that's all that is. It's just scrap fabric. Ignore that. Right, so this one, I was stitching in the diagonal, 3 block diagonal by, I think it's Cross Stitch Meadow, his YouTube channel and loved it and was going really well with it. And then I thought, okay, I'm getting a little bit bored with sticking to my themes. So I noticed Jolly July, like I said, I got halfway through the month and then got a little bit sidetracked. Arbitrary August, I was even worse and got maybe, I don't know, 5 days into it and then went, I'm bored. I don't know what it is. I really like the idea of a month of dedicated to certain things, but then it's like, oh, but that's like, I know what I've got to do and I don't want to do it anymore. I don't know what's going on. And I think maybe I like the sit down and stitch. What am I going to stitch on? Let's just pick something. Or look at a challenge and go, okay, I can meet that criteria for that challenge. I can stitch on this. Even though I don't really like challenges, like they're annoying me again. I've only been doing them for a week or so. But I don't know which way I'm going to go. But anyway, I pulled this out for a challenge because there was one where I needed to do, I think it was like 1,000 stitches on pink. And I knew that I'd started working in this pink flower. So I went, aha, I know I can get 1,000 stitches in pink on this one. So I just pulled it out and I just I stitched all the pink and a little bit of the purple and got my 1,000 stitches in pink. So that is so bright and colourful, that pattern. I love it. Oh, I'm so sorry. Cross Stitch Studio have retired, so their charts are currently available at Pain Free Crafts. So if you want this one, hop over to Pain Free Crafts and grab it. Yes, so love this. I'm loving how it's turning out. Really, really cool. So that is done on 25 count even weave, 1/1 full cross. And yeah, cool. I'm sort of in the full coverage cross stitch mode at the moment. All right, now this one is a new start. It was my birthday start. Blooming Whiskers by Ashwood Studios. And I wanted to start this forever, well, since I've had it. And then thought, well, I should put it on my Arbitrary August wheel, which I did. And I don't know why I did, because I knew I wanted to start it for my birthday. But there you go. I started it for my birthday. I don't know how many stitches I've got done in it. I'm not going to get the iPad up to have a look. But that is the top left corner. So that is just that little bitty bit there. And I believe this here, that there, and that there, I think, is the start of the butterfly wings, I think. I can see that is the start of what looks like the butterfly wings. So I'm thinking that the other wing is going to be here somewhere. Yeah. So I was going to do this in diagonals and then went, no, I'm going to do it, I think, row by row. But then I started working on another one and then was going column by column. So I don't know what my ultimate method's going to be for my full coverages, because I keep switching what I'm doing. And I just know that I'm not going to count very fast. So I think with this one, I was working like a 10 by 10 block. And I started carrying underneath, so parking underneath. So if it wasn't in this block, I'd park in the next one down. If it was any further than that, then I'd finish the thread. And then I could see that, well, hang on, that means that every column I could have the same, at least one thread in every column. To me, that's a lot of wasted thread. So I don't know, my brain works weird. So then if the thread was over here in the rest of the row, and that's the edge of that page, by the way, so that's like, I'm pretty sure that's the edge of the page. Maybe not, can't be, because that's tiny, tiny page. Then I was carrying over and parking it over here. So I don't really know what I'm doing. I know I'm not carrying too far because I can't count to save myself, obviously. And I marked in pencil where I know it's going to be covered because I know it doesn't wash out. But I did use a thread to mark off the squares on the outside so that I at least get an idea of how far I need to go. But yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I'm loving that. I do want to get back into it, but I'm looking at it and thinking, if I am only up here, and I worked on this for a couple of days, if I am only up here, how long is it going to take me to finish this? That's ridiculous. And this is not my biggest full coverage. So my stitch count is 600. So this stitch count, not my stitch count. This stitch count is 600 by 429. I don't know how many colours, I don't say, but there's a lot. Yeah. So I think that's part of the reason why I got a little sidetracked on my arbitrary August, because it's like, oh, I have so many full coverages that I want to do that if I only just pull them out once every couple of months, then they're never ever going to get finished. What is this? Okay, it's another arbitrary of August one. I need a drink. Are we talking too much? Okay, so this is Finery of Nature, a Dimensions kit. And that way. I had to couldn't work out which way it went. Alright, so that is what I have done so far. I had the butterfly done already, and this, and I added in these here, which is this quadrant down here. So I started in the middle and started working towards the bottom, and now I've done this minus the back stitching, the flowers, and this and these two little things minus all the back stitching. This black, I'm not a fan of working on black, but I do know, you know, I put my magnifying lamp down so it's lighting under my work. I put a white towel on my lap up to the table, so it's not a problem seeing the holes. I think it's a mental thing. I just don't like working on black. So, but I think it's going to look beautiful in the end because it's absolutely stunning. And it's the little details that are going to set this off. So this is one where the back stitching is a must. And I think all these little white things, I believe, are French knots. So they are not going to happen. They will be crosses. Are they? They look like crosses. I believe they're meant to be French knots. They are not going to be French knots. I believe around these little snowdrops as well, there's French knots. No. They're all going to be little crosses. I am not doing French knots. But anyway, so that is where that one is at the moment. And this is 14 count Black Ada. I'm using everything that came in the kit. Okay. Next we have another full coverage, and I believe I did this one for a challenge as well. So this is The Amazing Animal Kingdom by Amy Stewart. Sorry about the picture. It's a little bit little and very screwed up. I did this one for a challenge, I believe. It needed to have a penguin on it, I think. And there's penguins down here somewhere. And I don't know what my stitch count was, but this is what I am up to. This one I am working down the column. So I've sort of I think with this one, I thought I've worked out my preferred method for full coverages, but that doesn't mean it's not going to change. So I completed this column, which was basically this book and the start of the elephant's butt. Then I finished this one, and now I'm working down here. I'd already done, I think, sort of from there up, I'd already done. And I decided now, because I think I was working across the rows, and then I don't know what I did, but I know I had done up to there maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I'm doing columns now. So there's the elephant's butt, and this is the start of the peacock on the elephant. So yes, this is not supersized max color, it's just standard. So, but it's big enough for me. And I have a long way to go. So I'm up there. That's the start of the peacock on the elephant, back of the elephant. So like, I guess I'm up. So each shelf, I guess, is like divided into two, or not quite two. So that sort of is the first page, because that's the end of the first page there. So I guess that's the first page there. So there's a lot to go, but I do love it. And I do see other people stitching on it, and they are so much further along, and it looks amazing, and it makes me want to keep going. But yes, so I was thinking of picking one full coverage to focus on. Oh no, my needle miner just came off. Oh, I wasn't very careful then, was I? Let's hope the magnet is still there somewhere. Where's the magnet gone? Oh, it's probably fallen too. No, where'd you go? Yeah, I was going to try and focus on one full coverage a year, but I don't think that is very feasible, because I won't get anything done, like anything else done, or all the others won't get any work on them if I focus on one a year. I don't know, there's just not enough hours in the day, is there? And I think turning 60, it's like, oh my god, like I only have maybe 20 years left. I've got to get all these full coverages done in that time, plus everything else, my 100 other whips, and all the ones in my stash that I still want to do. Ugh. So I'm not buying anything else. That's it. Someone can come out with the most gorgeous chart, and I'm not buying it. Nope. Putting myself on a spending freeze. I don't have the money to do it anyway. Buy anything anyway. So, you know. Alright, so this next one is for Arbitrary August as well, because it has flowers on it, and it's Spring Montage by Janet Stever. Artwork by Janet Stever, charted by Pain Free Crafts, and I am up here, and that is where I am. So I finished the first page. That is the first page there, and I've started on the second, and I've done not quite, maybe a third of the first column on the second page. So this is being done on 18 count Aida, 2 threads over 1 square. So it is a little bit chunky, but it's not unstitchable. It'll just be thicker than a 1/1, but I'm not sure I like the 1/1 look on 18 count Aida. So if it was another chart that wasn't a full coverage, I'd always use 2 threads anyway over on 18 count. So it's just that this is full coverage, and it makes it a little bit chunkier, but it's still okay. So page 1 finished. Woohoo! Only a million more to go. And I'm not looking forward to all this black down here. Anyway, but this is Carolyn Manning's fault from Seasook Stitch, because she showed them all, and I went, oh, they're really pretty. And of course I had to get them all, and I've started them all, but whether they'll be finished, I don't know. But I still see Carolyn works on hers and brings them out every season. I go, well, if she can still stitch on them, so can I. Anyway, and I believe this is the last whip that I have to show you, and it is a finish. Easter Bouquet by Cedar Hill. And look at that. It is done. Yay. There we go. What fabric is this? I don't know. It's a linen of some sort. I don't even think I have. Oh, I do. Wait a minute. I used all DMC for this, and the I think there's one other floss called for, I think it's a weeks or something, and I just looked up a conversion. I think it was that one in there, and just used a DMC for this. So this is done 32 count Belfast linen in white, I believe. I think it's white, doesn't really say. Yes, 100, that's white, I believe. So yes, and I didn't know this until I went looking. I knew I had another one, but I didn't realise I had another two. So I can fit another one on this piece of fabric. It's not quite, like I don't think I can fit, if I frame them separately, what I'm trying to say is that I can't fit them. So what I think I'm going to do is put another one on here and frame them like as the one piece. So I have Flowers from the Meadow. I'll take it out of the plastic bag. So I have Flowers from the Meadow as an option, and I also have Christmas Rose Sampler as an option. Now I think, I'm not sure I really like that one. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to do this one, Flowers from the Meadow, because it has blue in it, like the blue there. And I'm thinking these white flowers, because I'm doing it on white, I may change them to a pale pink or something, just to make it tie in to this one a little bit more. Or even the yellow, I could even pick up the yellow and make them yellow flowers, I guess. That means I have to change the center. Because these are already like a pink. These bell things are like a pink and a purple. Or pink and burgundy. So I could pick up maybe a pale, like a pale blue or something to go make those. Or a mauve or something. Or this darker pink even to make them. Or the dark, like that sort of pink or that pink. Who knows? Anyway. But I don't think I'll do them white because they're going to get lost on the white fabric. And I think I'm going to do that one underneath and then frame them together. And then this one, Christmas Rose Sampler, might be a giveaway at some time. I don't know, because I'm not really that keen on it. And I'm not, you know, going to buy any more fabric or anything. So, like, just for that, because I'm not that keen on it. So we'll see. But anyway, that is my last finish, my last whip to show you. And that's I think this was the last one I finished actually. So that's finish number 55 out of my countdown to 60. Yay, getting closer. Alright, so that is it from me today. If you've liked what you've seen, you like my whips, the different variety that I work on, and you've liked this video, please give me the thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing and hitting that notify bell so you know when my next video comes out. And again, I don't know when that's going to be, and I have just noticed, oh my lord, I must be in a hurry to finish this. The stem on the Y, they are just half stitches. I haven't finished the crosses on them. Oops, I shall be doing that tonight. Ah, dear. I was in a hurry, wanted to get it done, obviously. And I've just noticed them. Anyway, I don't know when I'll come back again. Who knows? I did have great plans to come back and set up a different stitching, a different area to do videos in and all that sort of stuff. And then life has lifed and it didn't happen. And yeah, can't even talk. The past few weeks have been all over the place, a bit of a mess. So I guess I'm lucky I got today's video done. Anyway, that is it from me today. And until I see you again, happy stitching, stay safe and take care. Bye bye.